Jai Hind students, how are you? I hope you all are fine at home. Today I'm going to start a new chapter of Civics, Chapter 1, the Constitution and the Need for Laws. So in this chapter we will discuss about the Constitution, what is Constitution and need for laws. What is the need for that laws? क्या ज़रूरत है लॉज बनाने की. So, a rule is an established principle, a standard, or a guide for action. Rules are essential for efficient and proper governance of a country. These rules and principles are laid down in the Constitution. For the effective governance of a country, we need laws. And these laws and principles are in a book. That book is known as Constitution. Constitution, it is a set of rules according to which a country is governed. So Constitution, it is an important document laying down the fundamental principles of a country. The country is governed by these principles. Laws are also formulated according to them. Thus, the Constitution is also regarded as the fundamental law of a country. Our constitution was drafted by the Constituent Assembly. The Indian Constitution came into effect on 26 January 1950. Constitution is a very important document because it is a book, or we can say it is a book of laws according to which a country is governed. Constitution is also regarded as the fundamental law of a country. As you all know that we have 6 fundamental rights. I hope you all know that which are these 6 fundamental rights. Right to equality, right to freedom, right against exploitation, right to religion, cultural and educational rights, and the last one is right to constitutional remedies. So these six are the fundamental rights. Our constitution was drafted by the Constituent Assembly, and B.R. Ambedkar was the chairman of the drafting committee. Indian Constitution came into effect on 26 January 1950. As you all know that Constitution was completed on 26 November 1949, but it came into effect on 26 January 1950, which celebrated as Republic Day. There is a story behind that, and we will discuss about that story in the chapter of history. Now, what is the importance of the Constitution? And one important point, our Constitution, the Constitution of India, is the lengthiest constitution in the world. So now we will discuss the importance of the Constitution. First is that our Constitution contain important information regarding the structure, organ, duties and responsibilities of the government. All these things mentioned in the Constitution. Constitution regulate the relationship between the various organs as well as between the citizens and the government. It regulate the relationship between these things. Our Constitution has a system of check and balances. This prevent the misuse of power vested in the government. So Constitution keep the system of check and balances, means it ensures that no one branch would be able to control too much power, or it created a separation of power. Now which branch? Legislative, executive and judiciary. That we already discussed in class 7th also. So it keeps that check on these things. That's why it is also known as check and balances. It prevents the misuse of power. India has a diverse population, so it is important to protect the right of the minorities. Our constitution guarantees certain rights to the minorities to protect them against the oppression by the majority. India has a different type of population. So much diversity is there in our country, and when you all know that it is also known as unity in diversity also, because we have diverse population. We all live together happily because we all have equal rights whether we belong from any community. So We have diverse population, so it is very important to give them equal rights, those who are in minorities. Minorities means the community which is less in number. So our constitution guarantees them equal rights to protect them by the operation of majority. ऑपरेशन मीन्स दैट कि कोई उनको परेशान ना कर सके, जो लोग मेजोरिटी में हैं कोई भी उनका उत्पीड़न ना कर सके, उनको परेशान ना कर सके किसी भी तरीके से, किसी भी वे से। इसीलिए गवर्नमेंट ने उनके लिए कुछ स्पेशल राइट्स बनाए हुए हैं माइनॉरिटीज़ के लिए। Our constitution also guarantees certain fundamental rights to citizens in order to protect them against any injustice by the government. कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन ने हमें कुछ फंडामेंटल राइट्स भी दे रखे हैं जो हमने भी डिस्कस किए थे। सो any citizen can use that to protect them against any injustice by the government. So this is the importance of constitution. And our constitution of India took 2 years 11 months and 18 days to complete it. Now why we need laws? क्या ज़रूरत है laws की? laws नहीं होंगे तो भी क्या काम हो जाएगा? No, never. Laws are very important. You take the simple example of any game. Take the example of cricket. In cricket also there are rules. There are rules and regulations, no, that ki how that player is out and how we count 4 and 6. What are the rules for that if any player is out. अगर वो सारे rules नहीं बने होंगे तो कोई प्लेयर कभी आउट नहीं होगा। हम किसी को कितना भी काउंट कर लेंगे, 4 6 2 1, हाउ वी काउंट। सो रूल्स बने हुए हैं जिसके अकॉर्डिंग हम कोई भी गेम को प्ले करते हैं। हर गेम में कोई रूल होता है। टुडे वी आर प्लेइंग मैनी गेम्स ऑनलाइन ऑल्सो एंड देयर इज़ ऑल्सो अ लिस्ट ऑफ रूल्स कि दिस इज़ द रूल्स ऑफ द गेम्स। सो इट इज़ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट। हेयर वी टॉक अबाउट द कंट्री, सो ऑफ कोर्स दैट रूल्स आर वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. So of course need for laws. Laws are needed. So laws are meant for the welfare and security of the people. They serve as a means of bringing about social change and establishing an egalitarian society. Laws are very important for the welfare of the country or welfare of the people, and it also bring about the social change. And which type of society it develop? Egalitarian means where every people get equal right. In a traditionally unequal society like India, which is plagued by social evils means samajik buraiyan like dowry, female foeticide and alcoholism, the need for laws become even more important. Let us read about some social evils and the efforts made to stop their practice. So now we will take some read about these social evils with the help of this description ki how these social evils are in practice and how it affect the society, and what the government has done, and which type of rules are there to stop these type of social evils. So first we will discuss about the dowry system, female foeticide and alcoholism. So the first one is dowry. Students, you know what is the meaning of dowry? Dowry means in Hindi we called it दहेज. आप सब ने आई होप सुन रखा होगा डाउरी. डाउरी इज़ द मनी और गिफ्ट गिवन टू द ग्रूम एंड हिज फैमिली बाय द ब्राइड्स फैमिली एट द टाइम ऑफ मैरिज. At the time of marriage, different type of gifts or money given by the family of bride. जो दुल्हन की फैमिली होती है वो जिसको हम ब्राइड कहते हैं, वो ग्रूम मीन्स दूल्हा, जो लड़का होता है उसकी फैमिली को बहुत सारे गिफ्ट्स और मनी देती है. वो एक डाउरी की ही फॉर्म होती है एट द टाइम ऑफ मैरिज. ऑफन डाउरी डिमांड्स कंटिन्यू लॉन्ग आफ्टर मैरिज. इन मैनी केसेस आफ्टर मैरिज ऑल्सो दिस डिमांड नेवर एंड. और वो डिमांड जो होती है वो डे बाय डे बढ़ती जाती है. द इनएबिलिटी टू फुलफिल द डिमांड रिजल्ट इन फिजिकल और मेंटल टॉर्चर ऑफ द ब्राइड एंड इन एक्सट्रीम केसेस लीड्स टू डेथ. Sometimes it happens parents when not able to fulfill the demands of the groom's family. On that time what happen? It result in the physical or mental torture to the bride. Bride को physical और mentally torture किया जाता है, and sometimes condition becomes so worse and in many cases it leads to death. Because of dowry, many bride lost their लाइफ, काफ़ी ब्राइड्स की उसमें डेथ भी हो जाती है. So to stop this practice of dowry, to curb the practice of dowry, the government passed the Dowry Prohibition Act in 1961 to stop the practice of dowry. गवर्नमेंट ने एक डाउरी प्रोहिबिशन एक्ट पास किया 1961 में. दिस एक्ट प्रोहिबिटेड गिविंग एंड टेकिंग ऑफ डाउरी. अकॉर्डिंग टू दिस, no one can take dowry and no one can give dowry. Means for the bride family also and for the groom family also कि no one take and no one give this dowry. इस पे prohibit रोक लगा दी गई. According to the act, anyone caught giving or taking dowry is liable for both imprisonment and fine. इस एक्ट के अकॉर्डिंग अगर कोई भी डाउरी लेते हुए या देते हुए पकड़ा जाता है तो उसको जेल होगी और उसको कुछ फाइन भी पे करना पड़ेगा. Is passing an act enough to curb this practice? What other steps can be taken? हमने एक एक्ट पास कर दिया, क्या वो काफ़ी है इस प्रैक्टिस को रोकने के लिए? इसके अलावा हमें और क्या स्टेप्स लेने चाहिए? वेरी ट्रू, एज यू ऑल नो दैट कि टुडे ऑल्सो दिस प्रैक्टिस इज देयर. मोस्ट ऑफ द पीपल, मोस्ट क्या, आई थिंक ऑल पीपल गिविंग द डाउरी in the form of gifts or money to the family of the groom, and groom family also take that. So it can be happen, this law can be happen, or anyone can follow this law when people support it. The duty of the government to make the laws for the welfare of the society, but it is the duty of the citizens also to follow that law because it is for their welfare only. But if they think about the society ki it is a time of marriage and we have to give the gifts, otherwise what people say about that bride, that she will not bring anything with her. So these types of things create problem for the family of bride and they have to give. So important thing is that ki we have to change our mindset. So now next is female foeticide. Now what is female foeticide? Female foeticide is killing of girl child before birth. So we had done that one about the dowry system. Now we are discussing about the female foeticide. In today's time also, where society is now educated, but still this practice is continue. Even today also, daughters are considered as financial burden by many people. Many people, whenever any girl born, so people think now it is a financial burden for the parents. And many parents also feel this. They are educated, but they feel the same. So this practice affected India's sex ratio. In 2011, census show a decline in the number of females in the age group of 0 to 6 as compared to the 2001 census. Now what is census? Census means counting of population, counting of number of males, females. In Hindi we called it जनगणना. It takes place after every 10 years. हर 10 साल बाद जनगणना होती है. So 2011 and 2001 data is given and it shows that in comparison to 2001, in 2011 there is a decline in the number of females. So according to 2011 census, there are 919 females per 1000 males in the age group of 0 to 6 as against 927 females per 1000 males in 2001. 2001 census में 927 females per 1000 males and in 2011 919 females per 1000 males. तो एक डिक्लाइन हो गया ये तो, जबकि बढ़ना चाहिए था. So why all these things happen? Because of this practice of female foeticide. To stop this practice, गवर्नमेंट ने एक लॉ पास किया दैट इज़ नोन एज प्रीनेटल डायग्नोस्टिक टेक्निक्स रेगुलेशन एंड प्रिवेंशन ऑफ मिसयूज एक्ट PNDT Act in 1994. It was brought into effect from 1st January 1996. Government has passed one law that is in 1994 and it came into effect from 1 January 1996. Now what happened in this act? According to this act, it prohibits the determination and disclosure of the sex of the fetus. Means before the birth of the child, no means especially for the doctors, because because many parents want to know before the birth of the child ki it is a girl or a boy. So government, because of this act, which is passed by the government, so according to this act, no one can disclose the gender of the child ki it is a girl or it is a boy. It also prohibit any advertisement of prenatal sex determination. Any violation of the P&DT Act can result in imprisonment and fine. If anyone practice this, so it result in the imprisonment and fine. Now, next is laws and dissent. The meaning of laws, you all know that. The meaning of dissent is disagreement in opinion. Laws are formulated for the welfare of the people, but a situation may arise where a law might not be in the larger interest of the people. What should the people do then? Should they obey the law or express their disagreement? If we look at our history, we will find many examples where people defied laws for the larger good of the country. Many times it's happened when government pass any law or try to think about any law to make it, so people are not satisfied with them, because many people think that, or many times it happens, it is not about the interest, a larger section is not getting benefit from that law, so people will not follow that, and that's why it is that dissent means disagreement in their opinion. So if we go in our history, in the time of history, we will find many examples where people defied laws for the larger good for the country. So first one is salt satyagraha of 1930. I hope you all heard about it, कि salt satyagraha. It was done by Gandhi ji in the time of Britishers. When Britishers were there in India, so Britishers imposed salt tax, according to which the manufacture and sale of salt become a British monopoly. ब्रिटिशर्स ने सॉल्ट पे टैक्स लगा दिया था, जिसकी वजह से इंडियंस को काफ़ी प्रॉब्लम फेस करनी पड़ी थी, और ब्रिटिशर्स के पास ही सिर्फ एक मोनोपोली मीन सिंगल राइट, ब्रिटिशर्स के पास ही सिर्फ सिंगल राइट था सॉल्ट को मैन्युफैक्चर करने का भी और उसको सेल करने का भी। किसी भी और पर्सन को अलाउ नहीं था कि वो सॉल्ट को बना सके। तो दैट्स वाई गांधी जी लॉन्च सॉल्ट सत्याग्रह, इसीलिए गांधी जी ने सॉल्ट सत्याग्रह करा था, जिसको हम एक फेमस डांडी मार्च के नाम से भी जानते हैं। अगेंस्ट दिस टैक्स, इस टैक्स के अगेंस्ट, बिकॉज सॉल्ट इज़ अ वेरी बेसिक नीड फॉर एवरी पर्सन, वेदर इट इज़ अ रिच और पुअर। सॉल्ट की तो हम सबको ज़रूरत होती है, विदाउट सॉल्ट हाउ कैन वी ईट द फूड। सो गांधी जी ऑन 12 March 1930, गांधी जी along with his followers left the Sabarmati ashram. Gandhi ji started the march from Sabarmati ashram at Ahmedabad and walked to Dandi. Dandi is a coastal village on the west coast of India. So he reached Dandi on 6 April 1930. 12 मार्च को उन्होंने स्टार्ट किया था चलना साबरमती आश्रम से, और 6 अप्रैल 1930 को वो डांडी पहुंचते हैं, जहाँ पे जाके वो प्रोटेस्ट करते हैं और वहाँ पे वो सॉल्ट बनाते हैं। एंड ही ब्रेक दैट रूल which is made by the British government. It signified a challenge in the authority of the government. Dandi March marked the beginning of the civil disobedience movement. Dandi March के साथ ही स्टार्टिंग हुई थी civil disobedience movement की। Civil disobedience movement that we will discuss in the chapter of history. So this is the first example कि sometime for the interest of the larger section of the society we have to change the law. Second example is anti-liquor movement. Post-independence, India witnessed an anti-liquor movement led by the women in Andhra Pradesh. Anti-liquor movement, liquor means here about the hard drinks. So आंध्र प्रदेश में वुमेन ने प्रोटेस्ट स्टार्ट किया था लिक्योर के अगेंस्ट. सो दे ऑर्गेनाइज्ड अ लार्ज स्केल प्रोटेस्ट अगेंस्ट द इंक्रीज इन द नंबर ऑफ लिक्योर शॉप्स. बहुत सारी लिक्योर शॉप्स वहाँ पे खुल गई थी, जिसकी वजह से वहाँ पे वुमेन ने बहुत बड़ा एक प्रोटेस्ट किया था. जितनी भी जब हम लिक्योर शॉप्स होती हैं तो पहले हमें गवर्नमेंट से लाइसेंस लेना पड़ता है, अदरवाइज़ वो इलीगल शॉप्स होती हैं. तो जितनी भी वहाँ पे लाइसेंस लिक्योर शॉप्स थी, उन्होंने बहुत सारे काउंटर्स बना रखे थे अपनी शॉप्स के किस लिए? जिससे उनकी सेल बढ़ सके। अगर एक ही काउंटर होगा तो उस पर काफ़ी लंबी लाइन लगेगी, जिससे लोग किसी और शॉप पे चले जाएंगे। दैट्स वाई उन्होंने अपने काउंटर्स को बढ़ा रखा था, और वो सारे काउंटर्स क्या थे? अनऑथोराइज थे, एंड उससे उनकी सेल बढ़ रही थी। सो लोगों को बहुत ईजिली लिक्योर अवेलेबल हो रही थी, जिसकी वजह से जो गरीब लोग थे वो अपने सारे पैसे लिक्योर पे ही वेस्ट कर रहे थे। सो दैट्स वाई वुमेन स्टार्टेड द प्रोटेस्ट। सम ब्रेव वुमेन decided to protest against the sale of liquor. They launched an anti-liquor movement. उन्होंने एक anti-liquor movement स्टार्ट किया। वो ये जानते थे कि लिक्योर शॉप्स को बंद करवाना, उन पर रोक लगवाना ईजी नहीं है, बिकॉज गवर्नमेंट के लिए ये एक इम्पॉर्टेंट सोर्स ऑफ रेवेन्यू है, बिकॉज गवर्नमेंट को यहाँ से सबसे ज़्यादा रेवेन्यू मिलता है। सो दैट्स वाई इट इज़ नॉट ईजी टू बैन दीज शॉप्स। काफ़ी प्रोटेस्ट के बाद द बैन वॉज इम्पोज्ड, उस पर रोक लग गई, एंड लॉज हैव प्रूव्ड इंस्ट्रूमेंटल इन ब्रिंगिंग अबाउट सोशल रिफॉर्म्स एंड सम सोशल चेंजेस आर देयर। However, laws alone cannot curb social evils. Social awareness is also needed to change the mindset of the people. Very true. Laws alone cannot stop these social evils. Social awareness is also needed to change the mindset of the people. We have seen the example of dowry, female foeticide, liquor shops. We all know that this is very bad things. But still people are practicing these things. People are using the liquor. Everyone know that liquor is very harmful for the health, but still people using this, wasting their monies, and sometimes it create problems in the families also. So that's why it is a need to change the mindset, because government हमारे लिए laws बना सकती है, but चेंज हमें अपने माइंडसेट को भी करना होगा। वो तभी लॉज फॉलो हो पाएंगे जब हम सोशल इवल्स को खुद रोकना चाहेंगे। डाउरी, फीमेल फोर्टिसाइड, एंटी लिक्योर आर द एग्जाम्पल ऑफ दिस। इट्स वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट टू चेंज द माइंडसेट ऑफ द पीपल। जब तक हमारी सोच नहीं बदलेगी तब तक लॉज अकेले काम नहीं कर पाएंगे। सो लॉज कैन नॉट कर्ब सोशल इवल्स। तो सोशल अवेयरनेस इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट। नाउ द नेक्स्ट इज रूल ऑफ law. Now, rule of law. So you have read that our constitution provides the framework for administering the country. A law which is against the fundamental rights of the people can be declared null and void by the Supreme Court. Any law which is against the fundamental right of the people, that is declared illegal by the Supreme Court, means that is of no use. That's why rule of law will always prevail. It implies that no one is above the law. Rule of law said that no one is above the law. कोई भी कानून से ऊपर नहीं है। Everyone is equal for the law. हर कोई लॉ के लिए बराबर है, whether it is female or male or from any community or from any class. So all people are equal. This principle not only regulates the power of the government but also stresses that everyone is equal before the law. Thus, we can say that democracy and the rule of law complement each other. I hope chapter is clear to you. Here it is given about to sum up. The first is that our constitution comprises the basic principles according to which our country is to be governed. Constitution, that is a set of rules according to which a country is governed. Second is that in 1961 Dowry Prohibition Act was passed, which banned that to prohibit the practice of giving and taking of dowry, which is a punishable offense. The PNDT Act. PNDT Act means Prenatal Diagnostic Technique Act. It prohibited determination and disclosure of the sex of the fetus. Salt Satyagraha, that was started on 12th March 1930 and finished on 6 April 1930. Salt Satyagraha was launched to protest against the salt tax. Next is anti-liquor movement, that was led in Andhra Pradesh to ban on liquor shops. And the last is rule of law, which means that everyone is equal for the law. Everyone is equal in the eyes of law. I hope the chapter is clear to you. So after this, I will provide you one assignment based on this chapter. So you will do that assignment. If you are having any doubt, you can call me. Till that time, take care, stay at home. Thank you.